Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I got this look. But before we get into that, I did want to let you guys know that I did use some new products that I got on this face. Like, face, serving face. So a couple of things that I got was foundations, concealers, and that's it. So the foundation that I am using to get this look is the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and I also use the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation in the color Caramel 450. These are what the two look like. They kind of look exactly the same. The e.l.f. one is a little bit lighter, which I had to use because my color corrector got a little bit too crazy underneath the Nars by itself. That was my first time using Nars, so I feel like that color is gonna carry me through the next couple ones I end up buying, because I do like the luminous, but I feel like I can use like maybe get Sheer Glow and just mix the two or something like that, or whatever the other one is that's like a little bit fuller coverage. And then I got these 3 cream concealers from e.l.f. as well. The colors that I got were Deep Olive, which is this one. The other color was Medium Beige, and I also got the Light Sand. I did try to use them as, you know how some people use concealer as their eyeshadow base. That didn't exactly work out, so instead of using that, I did end up having to grab my P. Louise base for my eyeshadow base. If you guys want to know what I used on the eyes, I used the Juvias Place, the Nudes palette, and then I also have the Chocolate palette to complete this eyeshadow look. And yeah, I also got the Laura Mercier powder in the color Honey, and I don't know who's hesitating and wondering if they should buy it or not, but I'm gonna tell you right now, sis, you gotta go and grab this because this is the best powder I've ever had in my life. So, period. Go ahead and pick that up, please, because that's literally the best. My highlighter, if you can see it today, it is the Master Chrome Studio in Molten Gold. It's literally been dropped so much and beaten to death, but it still works, so I used that. I also got this Wet n Wild. I also got this Wet n Wild contouring palette in the color Dulce de Leche, and I think it's 749A, and this is what the colors look like. I use this and I use that. The light one did kind of make me a little bit more brighter, but I don't know if it's brighter or ashier, so I'm not gonna know until I take pictures afterwards, like with the flash on, and see if I'm like flashback, scary, whatever, but we'll see when we get there. I use the Laura Geller mascara because I got that in the BoxyCharm, and that's the only mascara I had. And I've been using this freckle pen from ColourPop because I have natural freckles, so I just be filling them in to make them like look like me when I have makeup on. I think that's it. I did get other products, but I didn't get a chance to use them, so I'm not really going to mention them too much. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. I didn't really do anything too crazy. I already posted my eyebrow updated like routine, so if you guys want to see like how these brows became to be, you guys would have to go click on that video, because I didn't show brows in this video. I just started with my eyes and my brows. Eyes prepped and brows done is how we came on, so let's go. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. I'm back, okay. Still trying to fix up my brows a little bit because it looks like I'm like going like this, but only on one side, like. So I'm trying to fix that. My one brow grows different, so I feel like it's always gonna look different, but I still feel like I could take it down some, you know? Nevertheless, I mean, the brows are fine. I already did an updated brow video, but that's not what we're doing today. Today we're just gonna be trying a couple products that I got. Nars Semi Matte All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation in the color Macao. concealers. I got 3 colors. I thought this was going to be like closer to my skin tone, but it's actually like my perfect highlighting shade because I realized that I've been going too late. I usually go for something like this and it usually starts looking a little ashy, so I'm trying to start picking more tones that are like this to highlight with. So this is going to be my highlighting shade, and then I just got a couple other shades because I have a big project coming up and I wanted to be prepared for that. I used the e.l.f. hydrating camo concealer in the color Deep Olive, and I went directly underneath my brows to clean up. And then I used the really light shade, which is this one, in the color Light Sand, and I just went and put that on the eye. And I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to see like how many brushes I actually need to do a face, so I can just multiply and like build up. So I can just build up how many brushes I have off the ones that I actually need, because I have so many brushes that I don't think I need to use every single time I do a face. So I'm trying to do a whole bunch of neutral faces because that's what I need for my project, and just work from there. I love the new soap brow method that I've been doing for my brows. Like, can anybody just compliment me on how good my brows been lately? Because your girl finna switch up soon and go back to her blonde, because y'all know y'all let a blonde on the girl. My man did too. My man did too. I'm gonna be using these 2 palettes. The Juvias Place. Let's go back here. The Juvias Place nudes, the nudes, and the chocolates. These are what they look like inside. I'm watching a lot of tutorials lately because I'm trying to figure out how to get this right for y'all, so I'm not sitting here boring y'all to death. But these are what they look like. They're all neutral shades, but you can see how there's different depth and ranges for different skin tones. These 2 right here, I believe, are, this one's a shimmer shade. The other one underneath is a matte shade. I don't know why it's coming out like that, but maybe because it needs to be over here. So yeah, that's what they look like. Take a fluffy enough brush, and we'll get a shade that's close to, you see that? It gets creasing on my eyes. We can't have that. So I got FYI, you cannot use the, what is that? The camo concealer as eyeshadow base because it just does not work. It creases. Blender, you see there's no creases on the eyes. That's what we need. We're gonna go into this shade right here because it's close to my skin tone. We're gonna start to fill out just the outer portion of the eye. Might not look like I'm doing a lot quite yet, but yeah, so we're just going ahead and filling out the natural form of the eye. We're gonna go into this shade right here, and we're gonna go above where we just put that color just to make sure it's blended. So, even though there's barely anything there, we want to make sure we get every part of the eye covered. I'm trying to minimize how many brushes I'm using, remember, so I'm still gonna keep the same brush because we haven't went into anything like super crazy yet. Alright, so now we're going to go into the chocolates palette, and we're going to take this reddish brown because it's just, I like how the undertone of that is. I'm going to swirl in there, tap off the accents, and start to fill out the outer third of the eye. And make sure it's nice and blended. So slowly apply, build on the color. You don't have to pack it all in one spot and try to blend it after. Just slowly build your color. It'll come. I already used this. Now we're gonna go and use this to deepen the corner just a little bit because you want to have some depth over there. So take it, This is a really big brush, so I'm gonna try to be careful because I wanted to use a small brush, but you can still use a bigger brush. So you see how I'm stamping this? First on the outer corner. Just in one spot. You see how it's giving that depth? So now the corner has so much definition. Blend it out. And then we're gonna go back into this reddish brown. And we're gonna make sure that's blended around there. So like just drag the color towards the front part of the eye. You don't really want that to be super naked. A little bit concealer here. But I'm going to blend it a little because I don't want it to be so super cut crease. I want it to be blended. So now that that's down, we can go ahead and put this color on top. Enough. So, put that down first. So I did end up switching. I used the nudes palette instead. Let's see. And I used this color, which I'm not really sure why it's coming off, but it's like a nice little vanilla milkshake color. Putting that right in the front. Go in and clean up. So we're gonna stamp that brown back just to make sure it's, you know, still alive in there. I don't know why when I'm recording, I always like have to burp a lot. Like a lot. Like I don't know if it's nerves or what. I don't be feeling nervous. I mean, I could be, but I don't be feeling like I'm nervous. This color right here is softly blend around because I don't really want the super cut crease look. I want it to be blended today. I'm just gonna use a brown liner and then put brown eyeshadow on top. So right now I'm just doing the wing line. And right here is when I'm putting the brown shadow on top. You can't really tell because the eye is brown. And the brown shadow I'm using is from the Chocolate palette, this one. Do the same thing with the other eye. Exactly what you did on both sides. So now both sides of the eyes are done. You're not really gonna see much of the liner because the whole eye is brown, but it's how I'm gonna. So these are the pair that I think I'm using today. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be color correcting. Put some concealer on my dark spots, but basically we don't really have a lot today. Is the Nars in the color Macao. I know that this foundation is watery. actually come up a little bit warmer because of that red that we put under there, but so that's the color. I'm gonna mix a little bit of this elf on top because I'm starting to think that I might like the color of this elf one better. It could just be because it's pulling that red from the other foundation or the other concealer that I use. That's making it look a little darker. Okay, so far I feel like that looks pretty and matches me. Start to put on the camo concealer. So I did two pumps of the Nars, one for each side of the face, and one pump of the elf, just to give me a little bit lighter shade because I think it was pulling too much of the red. And we're gonna use the camo concealer. We're gonna put it basically everywhere that the light shines on. So this is the color that brightens me and everything, but I usually want a little bit more. Like, so I'm gonna put a little tiny bit here, and hopefully that's enough to brighten me. Only reason I'm using my finger is because this is a cream, the Anastasia palette, and I've had this for who knows how long, and this cream is like pretty much dry out. You have to warm it or something, or you're not going to get any product out. So you have to warm this type of thing up. I have no clue why I didn't say anything during this part, but I'm basically just doing my nose contour here, using that same color that I used around like my cheeks and my forehead, and just putting 2 lines down my nose right now. And then towards the bottom of my nose, I do like this like arrow thing. I don't really know why, but I really like how my nose comes out when I do it. It kind of like pushes my nose up a little bit, so. I'm just going to go ahead and take my time and use my brush to blend in or pat in my concealer underneath my eyes. Make sure you take your time with this. You don't want to rush. You want to make sure you're pressing the product in, not swiping it and moving it around. I took the time to do this last because you want to make sure it's a little bit like tacky, like it had time to dry down, and then you can go ahead and pat it in. Alright, so now I'm switching to a bigger, more fluffy brush, but it's still got a little bit of denseness to it. It helps just blend out everything seamlessly, like the contour and the highlight together, and it pretty much does all the work for me. Blending takes time and patience, honey. You gotta have them both. So, and I feel like it's important to say this once again. Make sure you're patting the product in. Okay? You do not want to be swiping off all your hard work, sis. So, patting the product in is key. Sorry, I like a for around creepy or awesome. So if you're gonna make an ugly face, do it. And the powder that I'm using right now is the Laura Mercier powder in the color Honey. I literally love this powder. Like, If you are thinking about it, just buy it because it's literally everything. Everything. It's like so finely milled. I cannot see myself using anything but I do have this new Wet n Wild contouring palette, and I'm gonna use this yellow right here, and let's use a little bit. Oh, it made me a little ashy. That's okay, because we can fix that. The other powder on top. So yeah, this powder, just to see what it looks like on my skin because I've never used it before. As long as it doesn't make me look like a ghost, that's alright. Just give me a little, just to set my contour because it's like darker in color. Just by a smidge, nothing too crazy. Like, and I still have to blush and everything. But so far, this palette, I'm still a little on the rocks. I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit. I'm gonna use this blush that I always use. It's not a little bit because my arm. It's fine. I love blush. Love blush. And I love it. So I decided to do my lips off the camera because it's the same combo I always use. So I skipped right over to me putting on highlighter, just putting it in all the areas where the light shines on my face, because you know, girl likes to glow just a little bit though. I haven't been liking the blinding highlight anymore. I think I'm kind of just like over that phase. I just like a little subtle glow from within. And since I have real life freckles, I'm gonna go ahead and fill out my freckles. I have a little freckle pen that I got because I literally have freckles. I can't see my freckles. Over here, I think. That's crazy. That concealer definitely concealed my freckles, so that's like a good thing, I guess. So the coverage is bomb because I usually have a freckle right there. You can't even see. But gotta put some setting spray on. And take a fluffy brush. At this point, my camera had fell so many times, I think I just stopped talking because I was starting to get mad. But I like to take a fluffy brush and just go ahead and dust a light layer of that Laura Mercier powder over my face just to make sure everything is locked in, and then we're good to go. That's all. And then take this down. so this is the look today. Keep it nice and simple. You can bronze and add any more, any less, but I think this is like a really good basic. Every girl should be able to do type of thing. I will be linking most of the products used today for you guys. But I mean, you can't tell me that's not cute. Sis. Like, come on, let the hair down because cheetah. So, period. Cause I thought a bitch that wanted to be like me said something. I mean, what? It's like, but thanks for watching, guys. I love you. There will be more looks and more tutorials in the future for surely. I love getting to share with y'all the stuff that I bought. But yeah, like, welcome back. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.